For Columbia, sophomore out of the Bronx, Marcelo Milani, the sophomore out of Highland, Michigan. He's 11-8 on the season, but even 13-13. Senior day is underway.
Yeah, these guys know each other a little bit. Actually, they wrestled in freestyle this spring of 2024. So Suleiman won that one. It was a tough match, close match, and this will be an interesting one, a style change in folk style here.
Cornell wrestled yesterday, won their duel against Binghamton. Milani started that duel off with a 10-2 major decision win over Carson Wagner.
Pretty good win. Carson Wagner's a really good wrestler. He's got some good wins on the year, so that's a good one to pick up for Marcelo Milani.
Milani with really good experience, 14 wins as a freshman. It was a 14-2 record. And fighting to start this one, both looking for their shots.
Yeah, Marcelo likes to be in the ties a little bit more than Suleiman. Suleiman's kind of like in, tie, snap, look for some space, and then try to get to the legs. Marcelo, he's kind of trying to, as you can see, close that gap, get a wrist, try to find a tie, and probably get to his underhook series. He's pretty good in underhook. Has a lot of offense from there, kind of slide bys, shucks, underhooks.
Milani comes from a wrestling family. His father, Luigi, wrestled in Michigan. He goes in for his first shot, but Bob clips the ankle, spins around. And things stay even as Milani's able to sit out.
Great re-attack by Suleiman. Milani just kind of kept moving, kind of kept switching his hips, and it makes it hard for the guy to follow on top. Suleiman just probably needs to wrap up both legs here the next time rather than going to the waist. If you kind of remember in your mind, going back to that position there, he went ankle and then around the waist, where if you go to two legs, you wrap him up, the bottom guy, Milani, would have nowhere to go.
See Milani going for underhooks, just playing defense here. Bob looks really aggressive here to start this one. Guys getting their one shot in thus far through the first 2+ minutes of the first period, but it looks like Bob's wrestling with a lot of confidence here to start.
Yeah, and he's got Milani kind of going up and down, so Milani's biting on his fakes hard, and he really needs to. He's got to honor Suleiman's level changes, because exactly that, if he doesn't kind of pick it up the shot, did a good job picking up the shot there, and I don't think Suleiman really wants to spend a lot of time in this over-under position. But if Milani doesn't keep reacting down to those shots, Suleiman's going to find one and get through them. Another good attack by Bob, but a re-attack by Milani.
Milani on a re-attack, looking to get some points before the period ends.
Yep, this is a big one, end of the period. This is big. No points. Good job to wrestle through by Suleiman. Close attempt by Milani there. That would have been a big takedown, so it's great for Suleiman to kind of defended that one off.
Good first 3 minutes to start us off. Still no score. Bob will start on bottom for Columbia. Bob just 5-13 as a freshman last season. 13 wins, 13 losses, and he's on the board with the first point of the day in escape.
Suleiman looks really motivated out there. Like, he's dialed in. I think he's confident that he can beat Milani. He's done it before in freestyle, so I think he knows this is a big opportunity for him. Milani's got some good wins at 25 on the season, and that would give Suleiman a win over, obviously, a really good opponent.
Boss wrestled some good opponents at 125, as you mentioned. He had that loss to Max Gallagher a couple of Fridays ago of Penn. Gallagher ranked in the top 30, which was a 11-3 major decision loss for Bob, but he really wrestled with confidence in that one.
Another attack here. And I hear Coach saying, you want space to Suleiman. And that is true. He doesn't really want to be burning time here. Milani's just kind of comfortable here. And if Suleiman relaxes too much, I'm sure Milani's got something for him in this position. So Suleiman should be probably clearing this tie a little more aggressively than he is.
Under a minute to go, second period. Boss squaring Milani up. Milani with a single, turns it into two-leg grab, gets 3 points.
Stalemate stuck. Red control.
Stalemate called on the map, but Milani earns the first takedown of the day.
Yeah, and he actually picked up Suleiman's double leg shot with an underhook, so just kind of underhooked through the double and then threw it by onto a single. Nice reattack. Suleiman doing a great job getting to his feet and just really, you know, he's been on bottom twice now. He's given up only 15 seconds of ride time, so great job on bottom by Suleiman. He's got to keep peppering Milani, but not. He's got to be smart, a little bit smarter on those attacks because Milani's starting to pick up his re-attacks.
Great insight, Joe.
Stalling for a moment. Under 10 seconds to go, second period. Ba, aggressive. Milani trying to counter. And this period's going to expire before either can get some points. Really good period from both wrestlers, but Milani earns the first takedown.
That's where it is. He just picked up that shot. Suleiman's arms, he came in that double with his arms a little too wide. Milani threw that underhook in and just went right to his throw by single, which is a great position. He's good there. So great job capitalizing by Milani. Suleiman really just can win this with one takedown here. He's got 2 escapes. Assuming Milani gets out here, it'll be 4-2, and Suleiman just needs a takedown to win the match.
Let Milani up to earn an escape point, so it's 4-2 Milani. Now Ba needs that shot. And again, second season in the NCAA where takedowns are worth 3 points, so takedown will put Ba in the lead.
Suleiman's, he's got a press. I'm a little surprised he hasn't gotten a stall call, frankly, yet. He's taken a lot of attacks. Milani has not really taken any initial attacks. He's taken a few re-attacks. But the amount of attacks Suleiman's taken is really, it's starting to add up.
Milani's done a nice job countering those attacks.
Very nice job.
Let's get to the outside, over on the edge. Milani just pushing Ba away. 1:09 to go. In the third, Milani's had some good reads. Both wrestlers just looking for one more shot here to nail things in. Milani gets an under.
Yep, this is where he's trying to slow down the match and just control a position that he feels comfortable in. And that's what a smart wrestler is going to do, is get to a tie that he likes and control his guy, not take excessive risk being up by 2 points.
Here goes Bob. Milani on a re-attack. Able to build back up and get an underhook again.
Suleiman needs to clear this tie in a hurry. Milani's goal here is to kill the clock, really. If the
on the outside, I don't think any points were awarded there, so it remains 4-2. The ball was close.
Close, but out of bounds, and there probably would have been reaction time there anyways.
Columbia bench urging Ba on. He needs to go. 20 seconds left.
It's almost a little too late on the stall call. He's not going to get 2 more by the time the match is up. So Suleiman did a great job pushing the pace and taking a lot of offensive attacks. Suleiman's got a great little low single, kind of like snatch low single heel pick. And I didn't see him hit that much. He went after that double a lot, and it got picked up a few times.
Really good match to start the afternoon. A low-scoring one, but a close one. Marcello Milani earns a decision victory over Suleiman Ba. He's now 12-8 on the season. Go to 133 now. This is Connor Smith, the freshman out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Goes up against Ethan Qureshi. Thus far, Smith will get out. Smith's been in that 133 slot for Columbia recently, since Ivy League duels have begun. Qureshi with a throw, able to get 3 points. Qureshi went 7-10 last season. He's 8-3 this season. Sophomore from Irvine, California. Got elbow control. Smith's grabbing at that wrist, but Qureshi's just riding Smith out.
Yeah, he came out hard, Qureshi, and just kind of, I'd say, bowled himself into a takedown. Wasn't going to slow down the match.
Qureshi nearly going for a pin. Smith able to sit through.
Yeah, a little savviness there. He's getting about to get tilted, but nice with his hips. Was able to float across and make the position a little riskier for Qureshi.
Qureshi was one of 2 Cornell wrestlers yesterday who took a loss. He lost via decision, 8-5, from Michael Ross of Binghamton yesterday. Go on top here, 1:36, riding time just over a minute.
Cornell's got a tough lineup out there today. A couple guys, possibly, a couple question marks I don't see in there. Brett Unger at 125, he's tough. Milani's very tough too. Maybe they have a lineup battle going on there. But they also have at 33 Tyler Ferrara, and he's a pretty established wrestler. So maybe they're giving him the weekend off, giving him a break. Maybe he's a little dinged up. At this point in the season, a lot of guys are dinged up, and they kind of need a weekend off. Both teams want to put their best team forward at conference, and that's quickly approaching for these guys.
We were looking through both lineups, and things are a little interesting, especially on the Columbia side. Caesar Alvan returns. He missed the last couple of duels. He's wrestling at 165 against number 5, Julian Ramirez, so you could say that's a marquee matchup of the afternoon. Number 18, Ethan Fernandez, is wrestling Kai Owen, who moves up to 149. That'll be a good one. And then we'll see Meyer Shapiro, ranked number 2 in the country at 157 for Cornell. Either Rich Fedelin or Austin Iwaniki for Columbia.
Yeah, we're going to see Cooper Hornack up at 141. He was, I believe, his first start of the year, a true freshman. So kind of a cool opportunity for him to get out there and wrestle a good wrestler. But yeah, interesting to see that, Kai Owen is up a weight class. Richard Fedelin is up a weight class. You don't often see guys jump in weight classes. I'd say this, especially established guys, returning NCAA qualifiers, kind of jumping weight class at this point in the year. But as I've talked about before, Kai's pretty big for his weight class.
There's the early takedown from Qureshi to get things started. He's up 3-0 over 2.5 minutes of riding time. See some new looks at 285 too for Columbia, as Billy McChesney or Richard Ryu will wrestle today. Smith in a tough spot, able to get out of that though.
A lot of hip jumping here. Hips are flying high, jumping over the top. Kind of fun to watch.
Qureshi started on bottom, earns an escape point, so it's 4-0. He's looking for another re-attack. They get the takedown for another 3 points.
Yeah, nice little kind of shuck, collar tie shuck. Oh, nice combination sweep single to backside drag by Smith. That was nice. He's just got to keep adding a few of those together and get into his spots.
Qureshi getting his spot, looking to turn the corner.
Qureshi, he's waiting out front here. Maybe there's something he's looking for, but I think what the coaches want to see out of Smith right now is just fight, really. They know he's a true freshman. He's a smaller 125 pounder, and he's up wrestling 133, so I think they just want to see fight.
Smith dove for an angle. Qureshi was having none of that. He earns another 3 points. Now 13-2. Riding time approaching 3 minutes. It's at 2:50. We'll have that point pretty much wrapped up. Smith stands up, gets an escape point. Let's see if he goes. He's been moving quickly out of these escapes. Qureshi's had some easy counters though, and here comes Qureshi with a double leg. Another 3 points. Now 16-3, riding time well over 3 minutes.
You can see the size difference kind of start to take over as the match goes on. Connor's like, if you're the smaller wrestler, your output's got to be higher, your physical output. And that can only sometimes last so long. But again, it's at this point kind of just about fight and trying to keep his mind locked in. True freshman. So he's got again, this is kind of similar to Smith last match at 133. You know, a big part of whether or not this is essentially a victory for him, whether or not he gets his hand raised is not as important as just like the fight he puts on out there. That's where it starts. That's the base of wrestling.
Hornack last wrestled December 8th at the Bob Quaid Open. Mentioned that 2-5 record. Both his wins this season are pins. So when you go that long without wrestling in some sort of duel or match, what's your mindset? What's the preparation? Is this just something to knock the rust off, or you're working in the room ready for this opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, you know, conditioning wise and stuff, they're working out every day. They're training hard. I think where it probably has the biggest impact is like he's a true freshman. This is his first home duel. I think that can kind of generate a little bit of nerves for guys. And then just not having competed for a little while too. Like your first match back really knocks a lot of the nerves off, and then you kind of find your flow pretty quickly.
Saunders is coming off a 13-1 major decision win yesterday. Two-time Fargo champion, high school 2017 and 2019. Minute 31 to go. Saunders up 3-0.
Yeah, he put the legs in. So Cooper, I always praise Pennsylvania, the state as a high school state, kind of is just like everyone knows they're great mat wrestlers generally. They're probably the best mat wrestling state in the country. So Cooper, being a guy that's from Pennsylvania, making the adjustment on bottom to make sure that Saunders doesn't get back to that spot where he gets his legs in and kind of flattens him out. He's just got to create a little bit more movement down there and kind of get his hips moving. That's going to create some movement and then find his way up.
Saunders out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Good job blocking right there by Hornack to try to keep the leg out this time. So he's noticing that, he's making the adjustment, but now he's got to get some hip movement and some height. This is a hard position to be in on bottom. You're just trying to do a quad pod over and over, and the top guy's got all his weight on you. He's got a deep claw ride. That's what Saunders has right now. That's what we call a claw ride.
Sticks that leg in there. That was tough, and now crossface off the backside of the head of Hornack. This is a tough spot. Got wrist control too. Got a good ride of the legs of Hornack, and Saunders is really racking up the riding time here in the first period. Well over 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It'll get close to 3 minutes by the end of this period.
Yeah, Saunders is actually ranked 22nd by Flow Wrestling right now. He's tough. He's got some good wins on the year. Like I said, he was a big recruit coming out of high school. I know Cornell has some big hopes for him.
Right off the handshake, there he goes.
Elements of surprise goes a long way. Why wait, right?
Why wait on noon on a Sunday?
Right.
Mention the high school accolades of Saunders. He helped Christian Brothers 2 state team titles in 2018, 2019. Hornack trying to get an attack, but a re-attack from Saunders. Now he's in position, picks up a leg. And down goes Hornack. It'll be a 2-point reversal for Saunders.
Saunders really spending a lot of time, frankly, on top. I guess he wants to turn, which, I mean, makes a lot of sense. But he's wrestling a true freshman out here. I think he should kind of be out for blood, just going getting takedowns. If he can't get a turn pretty quick, the expectation is kind of, all right, cut him loose and go get another takedown.
Hornack earns his first point of the match with an escape. Mentioned the true freshman in Hornack. Saunders is a senior. He's 10-3 on his year.
Saunders looks pretty relaxed. I'd say patient still. Hornack's kind of trying to pick up some movement, pick up his pace, but he's got a nice slide by. Great job. Saunders drops in on a single. Can Hornack kind of keep him off the leg? Good job, but now he's got this underhook, and that's not. You got to clear that and fight in.
Hornack just playing defense with his head right now to prevent a low shot. Also important. fend that off, but Saunders has got his arm in a pretty good lock. Saunders able to get around for 3.
Yeah, he's, you know, Cooper kind of was hanging out there in that overhook. Saunders has an underhook. He's kind of a tie-up type guy. It's like you just can't stay there. You got to clear those ties. Even though you're on the edge and there's not that much time left in the period, you got to get off that underhook and get your back to your inside ties.
8-1 Saunders through 2 periods. He's got the riding time point locked away as well. 3 minutes and 16 seconds of riding time for Josh Saunders, as he looks to close this one out strongly. He's just going to let Hornack up. The escape point.
Be interesting to see here if Saunders really gets a little bit more aggressive or if he waits for Cooper to come at him and kind of reattacks or picks him apart.
Hand fighting from Hornack. Saunders, you mentioned the patience, trying to get it underhook. It's Hornack, though. Saunders is able to peel the hand away. Hornack's definitely searching for something, but Saunders wrestling smart. Hornack able to spin around, though. Now Hornack trying to go. Saunders reattacks.
We got Drag City out here. Saunders with a nice snap down, kind of drag go behind, and then Hornack underneath in a drag, and then back to another drag by Saunders. So these guys are drag redrag situations.
Score reads 11-2. Really no quit though in Cooper Hornack. He's done everything he could, put him up against an experienced opponent like Saunders. You know it's going to be tough. It's not like he's bowing out to Saunders or anything. He's definitely given something to show Donnie Pritzlaff and the staff. As he gets out for his 3rd point.
Did a good job battling. I call that the kind of a butt-up position where you just quad pod, you know, hands and feet both on the mat, butts in the air. But the thing he did well there is he got the inside hand. He went, attacked Saunders' inside hand and got a little bit of hip separation in the butt-up, and that's what allowed him to get that escape this time. Saunders isn't a big penetration step guy. He doesn't hit a knee a lot on his shots. He's more of like a hand fight, use these tight ties and almost snatch singles, which is basically what he just hit. Cooper tried to hit a slide by, which is a great attack that he's very well developed in. But Saunders kind of reattacked right off the slide by into his own high level single.
And a major decision victory for Josh Saunders, an impressive win for the senior, his 11th of the season. And we will go right to 149 as Cornell has won the first 3 bouts of the day.
Yeah, this is going to be a great test for Kai Owen here at 149. Kai's spent most of the season at 141. He did wrestle at the Franklin Marshall Open in early January at 149. Had some good wins or wrestled pretty well. So this is, I think this is going to tell the staff a lot, you know, how Kai looks here at 149 against a pretty seasoned opponent.
It's Ethan Fernandez, ranked number 18. He's motivated. He's coming off a 2-1 decision loss to Ivan Garcia of Binghamton yesterday. Senior out of Township of Washington, New Jersey's 12-6 on the year.
Kai's got that crotch lock, and that makes it tough to finish, but Fernandez hooking both legs. He's getting close.
3 points for Fernandez. Now he's in a good spot. Owen trying to peel the hand away, not able to get away as things get to the outside.
Kai did a nice job just getting right up. Fernandez took him out. Pretty savvy there on the edge. Fernandez knew he didn't really have to do much other than re-drop down to the leg and just drive him out.
Both these wrestlers, NCAA qualifiers last year. Fernandez, member of the first team All-Ivy last season. He went 24-9. Wrestled Richard Fedelin last season. Defeated him in a major decision 20-6. Owen earns an escape point.
Yeah, got up to his feet nicely. Granby out of that mat return. Chain wrestled.
Mentioned the length of Owen. That gives him an advantage at 141. You'd assume it give him a similar advantage at 149.
Yeah, and a lot easier to make weight at 149. I think that's always nice. Kind of a weekend off of big weight cut. So see how his energy is in this match. Kai's got a lot of offense. He's got picks. He's got, singles. He's got slide bys, shucks. A lot of offense to work with. And he gets himself going.
Owen coming off a tough loss last week against Princeton, where he was oh so close to getting that match to extra time. Things fell apart in the last 10 seconds. Dropped that one via decision. Here comes Fernandez on a shot. Owen counters. Kai's got an underhook. Going to get back to his feet. There goes Owen. But Fernandez, able to circle, was looking for back points. Circles around for 3. Great counter from Ethan Fernandez, and things are getting dangerous for Kai Owen.
Nice exchange. Both guys trying to attack. Kai came across with that knee pick, and Fernandez just kind of rolled through, kept his whizzer, and came out on top.
Fernandez on top here as we resume. Kai's going to try and peel Fernandez's hand and sit through, but Fernandez looking for a mat return. Owen trying to get away.
Big escape for Kai here. This is a big point. 17 seconds. You want to get this one before the period ends. Also puts ride time over a minute if Fernandez can ride him out here. So Fernandez is probably willing to take a stall even maybe here rather than give up that escape, which means if he needs to kind of re-drop to the leg and just hang on, he can. About to get called for stalling if he doesn't mat return. But
first period ends. Fernandez with an early 6 points, 2 takedowns. There's a really nice exchange here. Fernandez able to lock up that arm, get Kai on bottom. So 6-1 the score. Let's see if Owen can get out. Get a shot in. Right back in this match.
Good job by Kai, just sealing off right off the whistle and not really leaving much room for Fernandez to ride him. Kai's picking up his aggressiveness. Just got to get some clean attacks here.
Fernandez, things are getting really rough up top. He goes towards the bottom.
And this is where Kai's length is so helpful because he's, Fernandez is in deep on a double leg, and Kai's reaching over, getting the ankle, and then is able to get his hips back off that. So it's an example where length can really be useful.
Trying to prevent another high-scoring period from Ethan Fernandez.
Kai's got an inside tie and an underhook, really shallow underhook, but some good ties here. Let's see what he can do with them.
Owen just not really able to generate anything. Right now, things are really locked up.
Fernandez kind of over tie, blocking with his left.
Owen looking for a shot.
Kai's picking it up. Fernandez kind of seems like he's starting to play a little bit more defensive here in this match, but that's exactly what you got to be ready for.
You just saw the length of Owen there. Fernandez went for the single on Kai's right leg. Kind of just went down on the mat. Fernandez just couldn't reach him. Goes forward again. Fernandez, you mentioned it. And you hear the officials. He's really kept things out to the outside here in the second period. And it's good for Kai because he's preventing a high-scoring second period from Fernandez. He's keeping the score 6-2. As the second period comes to an end. You'd assume Owen be aggressive here in this third period, as Fernandez wasn't able to earn any points in that second period.
Yeah, that edge of the mat spot's tricky. The thing, there's multiple kind of objectives at that point. You know, Kai's down by 4 points here. If he rides him out for at least 9 seconds, he'll clear that minute ride time. So that probably won't be a factor. But you know, Kai's essentially down by 4, and he's only got a period left to do it. So when that edge of the mat situation presents, it's a balance between, do I want to wrestle here? We're in a spot where I probably can't score and burn more time off the clock, which is pretty essential for Kai at this point, or do I want to try to work for that stall call, which, you know, if you take the guy out of bounds, like in this situation here again, it's kind of an automatic stall against Cornell, but a lot of times getting killed off the clock. So you gotta make the decision of, like, what am I after here? The stall call, or do I need the time? And here again, we're burning time, and Fernandez knows he is.
Owen spinning around, but things getting too far on the outside again. So Fernandez, after scoring 6 in the first period, 0 in the second, gets an escape here in the third. Well, you mentioned it, he's just taking things to the outside, knowing Owen has to be aggressive, so he's got to push Fernandez out that way if he wants to go.
Fernandez going backwards a little bit, but I mean, look, he's up by 5 points. He's got quite a few stall calls he can let out before he's in position to lose this match. So his strategy is just kind of keep battling these positions tough and giving a little bit of ground where he needs to.
Under a minute to go. Owen has cleared the riding time point for now. Owen would need 2 takedowns for a win, but here comes Fernandez trying to land a shot.
Kai's got to keep working his hips up and then be careful with his knee here. His knee's in a pretty tight spot, but Kai's good here. He's in a good scrambler with his length.
Owen trying to slip out of this. Cornell's calling for 3, and they get it. Fernandez, a late takedown here in the third period. And it's now 10-2. And frustrated Kai Owen here, wrestling up a weight class at 149. And Fernandez with a late strike.
Break after this, Harris.
10-2, it's major decision territory for Fernandez. Owen able to spin out, get an escape point. So he clears that major decision for now. His riding time is stalled at 55 seconds. So big for the duel, Owen able to get out. But Fernandez trying to land one more shot to earn a major decision. He's not going to have enough time. So a 10-3 decision win for Ethan Fernandez, his 13th win of the season. He defeats Kai Owen. Levian Gymnasium, team score is 15-0 in favor of the number 9 Big Red. Mentioned off the top of the broadcast, 5 wrestlers in the coaches' rankings in the NCAA. Here's one of them, number 2 Myers Shapiro. Had a first period tech fall win yesterday in Binghamton. He wrestles Richard Fedelin here, who's up a weight class at 157. He's been wrestling at 149.
Yeah, Myers one of the guys that's in the country that's kind of got one of the more electric offense, you know, sets to work with. Good on top, long. He's got a lot of success at the high school level, international high school level, and yeah, he's a monster. Currently ranked 2nd by Flo, but Corey Teamer and Tyler Kasich just wrestled on Friday night, so we'll see how those rankings shake up after that, because Teamer dropped that one.
Shapiro get some back swipes. 6-1 at last year's NCAA championships. He earned All-American status a year ago. Unanimous member of the All-Ivy first team. He's got it all. Highly sought-after recruit out of high school of Woodbine, Maryland. Returned to the Cornell lineup in December. 6-1 on his season.
Yeah, a couple Maryland guys here. Richard Fedelin also from Maryland, so don't know if these guys have really wrestled each other much growing up or anything, but I mean, Richard also has a lot of international success, but in Greco-Roman, so I'm sure these guys have trained or competed against each other at some point growing up.
Shapiro got a wrist lock. 6 early points. Good underhook here on Fedelin. Shapiro also a U20 world champion. 70 kilograms. That was before this season started, which is why he was out of the lineup for Cornell until December, and he's earning some back points here. Got 4 swipes, looks like. We'll confirm that in a moment. Fedelin in a tough spot. Got through it.
Yeah, good back bridge by Richard. Probably a little Greco-Roman back arch coming in handy there, but yeah, Shapiro's showing his tool set on top here too.
He was the nation's top recruit via intermat.com. Out of high school, well sought after.
Cornell's done a great job of just getting some of the top recruits in the country and doing well with them. I feel like they're, top 5 recruiting classes pretty frequently. They've got some top talent coming in behind these guys, so yeah, they're doing a good job on that front.
Nice spin around from Shapiro. Earning some more back points as the period comes to a close. They give him 2 swipes. It's 12-0, 2 minutes and 47 seconds, of riding time. Let's take a look at the near fall, the first one.
I believe this is Richard's first match at 57 this year. So, different weight class for him too. And although it's only a 9-pound difference from, 49 to 57 or 8-pound difference, every weight class is different. 8 pounds, body types are different. He probably hasn't wrestled anyone with this kind of length as Shapiro does. So it's a little bit of a new playing field for him at 157.
So a Tech Fall win in the first period yesterday, a Tech Fall win early in the second period here today. You take a look at these Ivy standings. Cornell has dominated the league ever since its inception with wrestling, 2-0 this season, 6-1 overall. You see Columbia yet to win an Ivy League duel here this season. We talked about it earlier before we came on about the Ivy League duels. We know what they're getting themselves into. A win would be great for the team, but ultimately it's all about that Ivy League tournament, getting the scouting report on all these guys. But here's a match we're really looking forward to. 165, we mentioned it, kind of our marquee match of the day. Caesar Alvan back in the lineup for the Lions.
Yeah, great to see Caesar back out here. Had a few matches off last weekend. I think he's just a little bit dinged up, but nothing major because he's back out here competing again. So Julian Ramirez, super seasoned guy, he's been in a lot of big matches, been in the national tournament many times, and pretty much always been ranked pretty highly. Top 10 guy for the last 3-4 years.
Ramirez comes in at number 5, Alvan in at number 26. Ramirez, an NCAA qualifier in each of his first 3 seasons in collegiate wrestling. Alvan, an NCAA qualifier, is only 23, and he starts off with a big throw. No points awarded yet, though, but that electrified the Columbia bench as the brick gets thrown from the Columbia side.
And we kind of saw that at 125, just picking up a shot with Caesar's underhook here. Right hand underhook, throw by, right to his back. And it's going to be up to the officials to decide if that was long enough to establish what they could consider control in wrestling.
Tony Pritzlaff wanted the points for Caesar Alvan. Your team's down 20-0. You're kind of halfway through the match, and that was the biggest roar we've heard all day. Caesar Alvan with just an electrifying throw there. We saw the first replay of it. Joe, I don't know if it looked like he had control or not. Maybe we'll see it again. But definitely a good start for Cesar Alvan returning to the lineup.
Yeah, I would say he didn't roll through it like immediately. Cesar held him there for a second, but again, it's kind of a discretionary call that will come down to what the officials see, what the officials think.
This angle is the same angle that the two officials are seeing on their monitor right now.
Wrestling has reaction time, so there is, you know, off a takedown, say someone puts their hand down or gets tossed to their back, there is reaction time. What the officials are trying to decide was that enough reaction? Was that beyond the moment of considered reaction time?
We are neutral.
And official is saying that they're neutral, which means, you know, reaction time was there, and Ramirez wrestled out of the position before that reaction time was up. I will say, I think that although he didn't get the takedown, he earned a little respect from Julian Ramirez right there.
Absolutely.
Ramirez has to know that if he comes out guns blazing and doesn't pick his attacks right, he could get put to his back again, and that's not something he wants to do. So, you know, that should give Cesar a little bit of confidence in this match as well, knowing that he can score points, he can control his positions.
So Ramirez put his hand out as Alvan goes in for a first shot. After the throw, both wrestlers back to the feet. Ramirez, Alvan. Both wrestlers going back and forth here. It's Alvan with an underhook.
Ramirez went upper body, which is an interesting. Cesar with a cradle locked up here. Can he take him over? He wants to keep that thing locked. He's got the takedown, but man, keep that thing locked. See if he can get some back points out of this situation here.
The Cornell bench stunned. The Columbia bench fired up here. Alvan
roll through,
looking for that
cradle on his back.
Cradle's locked in. Cesar Alvan.
No points. Cesar takes him out of bounds. He did get 2 swipes on that. Official confirmed 2 swipes. I'm sorry I missed that. Incredible start so far out of this match. This one's worth the price of admission just for this 165.
We talked about it. Matchup of the day, in our opinion, Joe. You're fired up. Fans are fired up. So is the team. And Alvan up 5-0.
I mean, they're going big. You know, first period comes out, first 30 seconds. We got a potential takedown to his back from Cesar against Ramirez. Gets called no takedown, and then they go right back at kind of duking it out, throwing some big positions, big points on the board.
You can tell these two wrestlers are fired up. Ramirez gets an escape point. It's 5-1 Alvan. Ramirez tried to snap Alvan down. Nothing there. 40 seconds to go.
Ramirez is kind of a power guy. I mean, he's got a great hard shot. You saw him try to go upper body with Cesar. Cesar's got a lot of judo experience though, and he's just super comfortable there. He knows kind of where his hips need to be, where his feet need to land, and where he can be dangerous.
Ramirez got Alvan in a vulnerable spot, but Alvan able to counter.
I think that's a position Ramirez can usually overpower guys in, but Cesar, just with his judo experience, knows how to kind of use his hips and win the position. So Ramirez is kind of going to have to do this, not the hard way necessarily, but I don't think he's going to power through Alvan in an upper body position.
Really good start here in the first period of 165.
Roll through cradle, 1, 2 swipes. Ramirez breaks the lock and immediately starts wrestling into Cesar.
Alvan starts on top here in the second period. The way Alvan's been attacking, he may just let Ramirez up. We go for a mat return. Ramirez escapes, earns a point. It's now 5-2.
We'll see how Alvan responds. I think he's got to keep peppering him with some of his attacks to keep Ramirez honest. What I mean by that is if Ramirez just, you know, can keep plugging away with attack after attack, he's gonna get through what he just did.
Evens the score, riding time getting reversed now. Ramirez trying to earn some back points, but Alvan never got fully on his back. Cesar trying to build his base up, get back to his feet. Ramirez has an underhook though.
It's that high hand, that inside hand that Cesar wants to control. Ramirez is good on top here too though.
And he's getting back points.
I think it was 1 swipe, the official said, not 2, so no back points there, but close. Ramirez is good on top in this this wrist tilt situation, so it's kind of where he scores a lot of points. He can tech guys out, gets on top early in a lot of matches, and then tries to tilt guys, and that's kind of his go-to script, I'd say. He's very good at it.
Riding time is now ticking upward in favor of Ramirez. It's approaching 20 seconds. Stays in this position the rest of the period. Ramirez will be over a minute of riding time. We're pretty close to it. Columbia bench calling for a stall. Nothing yet.
Yeah, Caesar just needs to battle, keep his hips moving here, keep building height.
All Alvan in the first. And Ramirez able to tie the score here in the second. Stall warning on bottom for Alvan as we approach the end of the second. Riding time is going to be awfully close to a minute. It's going to be about 57 seconds of riding time for Ramirez. And here comes the takedown to tie the score.
Yeah, nice little touch and go single, lefty single by Ramirez. He's strong when he gets to the leg. His finish percentage is pretty high.
Start a neutral here, big third period.
Yeah, Caesar chose neutral. Coaches have him choose neutral. They got 57 seconds on the ride time for Ramirez, and Caesar, is he going to find a way? Looks like we're in another cradle situation potentially. And we're backing up her body, which Caesar's good here.
Ramirez going for a pin, back points being awarded. That's 4 swipes for Ramirez, and Alvan in deep trouble here in the third period. 4 back points, riding time, well over a minute now. 12-5 the score, and Ramirez might just ride Alvan out here.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Ramirez, kind of just going to the legs and then coming up. And they were in a few dicey situations there again.
Alvan had a strong first period, was up 5-0, and since then Ramirez has had a really nice response. This is major decision territory too. Score 12-5, now 1 minute and 40 seconds of riding time for number 5 ranked Julian Ramirez. An action-packed match at 165. Best one of the day thus far. Not over just yet. Alvan trying to sit out of this, not able to though. Ramirez just riding him out. Caesar, you mentioned trying to get the hips moving, Joe. He's trying to wiggle his legs around. It's going to be a stall on bottom. 1 point here for Ramirez.
Ramirez has a deep, tight waist with his left arm, and he's got that thing wrapped pretty tight. He's got a head lever, that's what we call that, there, and he's just kind of riding that hard, staying tight. This isn't a bad match for Caesar. I think it gives him a lot of confidence going into the Ivy League championships. And, yeah, Ramirez is going to have his hands full if they meet again.
Best bout of the day.
I know Cornell's got some high expectations for him. Last year, in kind of his gray shirt year, essentially a red shirt year, he had some pretty good wins over eventual All-Americans and stuff. So he's got some tools, and he's pretty dang good. McGill riding this whizzer hard, doing a great job, just kind of continuing to wrestle through the position. Ruiz almost had the takedown, but McGill finding a way to keep battling.
We talked about McGill's confidence last time you were here, Joe. He's wrestling with a lot of confidence. He's won 7 straight. He came off a win 2 Fridays ago against number 7, Nicky Contreras of Penn. And win an Ivy League co-wrestler of the week. I think does a little bit for that confidence as well.
Yeah, it's great. He's just kind of been steadily building throughout the year, and then it really starts to tip the scales by the end of the year. I've mentioned this a few times, but he's behind a guy like Lennox Wallach last year, who was an All-American for Columbia, and when you're the guy in the lineup and you're just getting consistent competitions, you're wrestling 1 or 2 duels a weekend, you're going to all the tournaments, that stuff goes a long ways for your development. And so Jack's had that this year, and you can see, he's really comfortable out there wrestling a guy that's ranked 10th in the country, and he's out there to win it.
Wallach wrestling for Columbia in the NCAAs a season ago. McGill 16-9 though on his season, his final season. And Boyd at 174, left behind the All-American Lennox Wallach. Here comes McGill on a single leg shot.
Ruiz tried to do a little shucker snap, and Jack just kind of fell right into that single leg. But Ruiz got a tight whizzer, trying to spin behind. McGill's got to wrestle that foot up, elevate that leg, try to create something here.
How about this ankle position of Ruiz? Just playing favor of McGill, though, now that he's got it locked?
Ruiz is doing a good job just putting weight towards McGill's head. No takedown yet. Jack wants to start turning and facing him, right arm high and over. Stalemate would be a huge win, honestly, here for McGill as well, just because he was in so deep on close to a takedown.
Call to the outside. Good action, though, as McGill picking that leg up. Again, we've mentioned it many times. The higher that leg goes, dangerous spot for your opponent to be in. No points awarded yet. No riding time here, as we're under 40 seconds in the opening frame at 174.
Yeah, the fact that, I mean, Jack was pretty close to giving one up there, but that's kind of what he keeps doing well, and that's why we keep saying Jack McGill is very stingy. It's like he can be close to giving up a takedown, but when a lot of guys would quit, he finds a way to keep wrestling through. So he snagged Ruiz's ankle, elevated it, and found his way to the edge of the mat where he could get out of bounds without giving up that takedown. It's just really savvy, really stingy wrestling.
First period winding down, and an even one to start here at 174. Jack McGill has an individual title on his season as well, won the 174-pound title at Franklin and Marshall Open, went 5-0 there. 2 decisions, 2 major decisions, and a pin. First point awarded to Simon Ruiz. Gill looking to land one. Push to the outside.
Yeah, Jack doing a nice job finding his single leg, his little sweep there. You hear the crowd kind of not like that stall call that much, and you know the action kind of, there was like a shot, reattack. The offense kind of took them to the edge, but then Jack stayed on the edge a little too long, maybe didn't circle in hard enough, and official dinged him for stall there. Was it a good call? I don't think it was a bad call. I think that it's subjective at that point. You got to fight in, and frankly, I think Jack did an okay job of just smiling and getting back to the center and going to wrestle.
3 points awarded on the outside for Ruiz as McGill looks to figure this one out. Able to get to his base here on the outside, but they'll blow the whistle. Notice with being here more often, just McGill never seems fazed by anyone he's wrestling, and he's wrestled a lot of tough opponents here. As we'll get a blood stoppage here as McGill needs some treatment. But
5 seconds, Julia.
Impressive season for Jack McGill at 174.
5 seconds on the riding time, please.
He's up early, 4-0. Want to go back to that 165 match for a moment, but before we do that, let's help people affected by the California wildfires in 2025. So donate at redcross.org/ESPN. That's redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover from the California wildfires.
Yeah, a little blood time there. I think they caught heads pretty good on the edge of the mat in that last the exchange previously. So looks like they're all right. Getting back at the action.
Sum up that 165 later on in the telecast, but McGill now on bottom, down 4-0. Seen a lot of early jumps here today in that position.
Yeah, Ruiz trying to get off to a good start on top. Just jumping a little early. A lot of guys are often trying to time the whistle. You know, they want to beat their opponent to the first move, and that's big. This is Jack kind of switched into it. Ruiz, I would say, answered with another switch.
McGill!
Headlock by McGill, and that's 2 and backs. Pretty tight headlock. This is a tough spot for Ruiz to battle in, but McGill's got to keep his feet in. That's big. This is, I promise you, not a lot of room to breathe in this position for Ruiz. So
McGill's got to find a way to push the hips of Ruiz, but this thing goes out of bounds. Really nice roar here from the Columbia side at the end of the second period. Real good, tight headlock from Jack McGill. And the score now in favor of McGill, 6-4. Earn some swipes. See if he can hold off Ruiz. Picks the ankle, so he will. As riding time ticks down. Really good late throw headlock from Jack McGill. You get another look at it.
yeah, he was in the air, reached back for a head and arm and ripped it. Pretty fun to see.
Real good look there from our crew. McGill not stable on his feet at all there. Still able to throw down that headlock. 1 point escape from McGill, so it's now 7-4. So here's McGill. He's won 7 straight, and Ruiz looking for his shot, trying to even the score. He's ahead in riding time, just 12 seconds though. McGill looking to stave him off. 100 seconds to go here, third period. Ruiz just dragging McGill back to the inside to earn the 3 points and tie the score.
Yeah, Jack needs an escape here. He'll still be up by 1.
McGill, the lone Columbia wrestler to go 2-0 last weekend. Columbia wrestled Penn and Princeton here at Levy Gymnasium last weekend. It's the final Ivy home duel of the season for the Lions. Gonna let McGill up.
Yeah, Ruiz saying, I'm not going to try to ride him out. Just going to go try to get another takedown and seal the deal here.
These wrestlers know a shot will secure it.
Jack's just got to keep him off his leg a little better. Ruiz is getting close to finishing. This is a position where Jack can't really expose his back. That's where you hear people start yelling, danger.
We're out of bounds there. Good call by the officials. So a minute to go, McGill up 1. Things getting loud here at Levy Gymnasium as Columbia in search of its first win of the afternoon. Here comes McGill, deep in a single. And Ruiz able to spin out of it.
McGill's got to keep getting height, getting his head up and back in position here. Nice job by McGill to just kind of keep attacking. He got in on a deep single and another shot. So that should be keeping the stall call off, but Ruiz drops in on a single. Jack makes probably not the best decision to try to whip him through there, but
outside. Pritzloff not too thrilled with the latest action on the mat. So McGill on bottom here, 30 seconds. It's 10-8 Ruiz. Riding time not a factor.
second caution by Ruiz. So 3 cautions and it's a point.
Seconds. McGill's going to need an escape and a quick shot off of it. Ruiz just trying to ride McGill out. Body lock. McGill trying to peel the hand off. Ruiz forward to mat return. McGill in a tough spot. He's going to have to build a base quickly. Ruiz, though, just riding McGill out on the waist. McGill trying to sit through it. Not going to do so. Really good match. Really good back-to-back matches, 165 and 174. Simon Ruiz gets a decision victory over Jack McGill. Wins this one 10-8. Really good action on both sides, and see the experience from these Cornell wrestlers, especially towards the end. Looks like we'll see this final takedown here from Ruiz to lock up the win.
Yeah, just dropped in on a nice single leg, righty single. Ruiz has some length, and he's pretty good at just kind of smooth, kind of buttery falling into that single.
Chris Foca, the senior out of Cliffside Park, New Jersey, goes up against Nick Fine. Both wrestlers ranked within the top 30. Fine out of Cumberland, Rhode Island. He's 8-6 on the season. Foca 12-1. Had a Tech Fall win in the third period yesterday. Adams All-Ivy first team selection in each of his first 3 seasons with the Big Red.
Yeah, Foca had a lot of success at 174. Last year went up to 184, had a good year, but did not make the podium. for Cornell, so I know this year that's, I'm sure, on his mind here.
Foca lost in the round of 12 of the NCAAs last season. His highest finish at the NCAAs was third at 174 in 2023. As he goes in for his shot.
Nice kind of reach double there. Went up, looked like he was going to tie up with Nick Fine, and just dropped in on a nice little double. Foca wrestled Aaron Azaroff several times last year. Aaron's taken a gap year this year for Columbia. He'll be coming back as a senior next year. And they went back and forth. Aaron won a couple matches against Foca last year, and Foca beat Aaron at the NCAA tournament. So those guys have a pretty good little rival going. And see how Nick Fine can wrestle Foca today.
One swipe, but no points awarded. Foca, he's got a good lock here, the left arm of Nick Fine.
Yeah, getting ride time here. Not a high chance Foca's going to get a turn with that much of each of their bodies out of bounds, but it's still a sticky spot, and he's gaining ride time.
.121 to go first period, 50 seconds of riding time for Foca. Three-time NCAA qualifier, Foca. And a reversal from Fine, he earns 2. Riding time now ticking down.
2 boots in now for Nick. If Foca can power up, but not quite. That's a hard spot to stand up in. The guy's got 2 boots. He's got all the weight on your head and shoulders. Kind of easy to fold there. But Nick's high. You know, you don't want to get that high when you're on top. You want to settle back. That's where Foca can start reaching your foot. Now he's pulling him up even a little higher. Nick's got to find a way to kind of settle back in. But Foca's got that foot.
Foca with a reversal of his own. Riding time going up back in his favor. Under 30 seconds here in the first period. Good scoring here. Foca leads 7-2. These high scoring periods for Cornell really dampering Columbia here, especially in these last couple of matches that really could have gone either way.
Yeah, Foca's riding that ankle hard, and he's kind of just waiting for a wrist. He likes that cross wrist tilt as well. He's riding that ankle, waiting for Nick to come back and try to get a hand control, and then as soon as Nick reaches for hand control, he's going to re-wrist him and go to work on his turn series.
Red bottom, second pier, red bottom.
Foca, it's bottom here to start the second. Foca trying to peel the hands, fine. Bring him back down to the mat, but now that ankle is exposed. A situation where it seems like Foca, ankle searching, has found him, finds another.
There again, he's elevating that foot high, and he's trying to rotate back through. And Nick's obviously in a tough spot because Foca's got that foot up and elevated. And it's always tough to wrestle much when your foot is high and elevated.
2 points. Foca. So now our score is 7-2.
I'd like to see Nick try to find an answer for Chris Foca's ride here. He's riding a pretty standard like ankle and is waiting to catch that cross wrist, which he just did. Nothing out of the blue, but he does it so well.
Seems like Foca's done a nice job. You mentioned the ankles. Fine has really been exposed down at the ankles. What does he got to do to prevent Foca from reaching down there? Is that just him getting too high on his rides?
Yeah, on the ride, that's really it. It's you know, Foca did a good job of getting down, getting to a place where he can get to Nick's foot and then elevating it. This position's a little bit different. Nick needs to kind of protect his own ankle and kind of sit back. He wants his butt to protect his ankles. Bottom man actually wants to pressure back into the top man a lot on bottom. The more you can pressure back, the more you guys can kind of elevate each other together. It's like pressure into pressure will elevate height. So, but Nick's The farther he is forward, the more his ankles are exposed, which is what Foca wants. He wants to hook that ankle and ride him.
He's done a nice job of that thus far. Smooth sailing for him, up 7-2. Be on top here in the final 20 seconds of this second period.
Yeah, big point here at the end of the period. You get a fresh restart. Gives you a shot, if you're Nick Fine, to get your escape.
Caution on Fine.
Granby.
Foca's got that wrist control from an arm bar. Just going to ride this one out. Riding time over 1 minute and 40 seconds now as the second period comes to a close. Foca wrestling soundly. There were 2 reversals in that second period. Here's the one from Foca.
Yeah, he gets that foot across and just starts elevating it, and then he can float his hips over.
Wrestlers at neutral here to start the third. Still time for Fine to get back in this match. He would need a couple of takedowns with the riding time point. Clear favor of Foca, who goes in again for a single leg.
Foca's looking to lift here. You know he's not trying to get up to his feet because he's got 2 knees on the mat. But if Nick kind of circles too hard, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to lift him. Nick doing a scramble. Now this is where, again, high foot usually wins. So Nick's doing a good job keeping a lot of weight on Chris's head. But if Chris can find a way to get that foot up and elevated.
Still another ankle exposed for Fine. He's not able to get out of this. Foca doing a real nice job. He's just kind of locked up in that position, ankle-wise, and it's working for now.
Nick's got to work that bottom leg out. Almost out. And Chris has that one too.
Potentially dangerous here at the center of the mat. Foca looked like he was just hanging on for dear life. But it was technical. He's just trying to ride him out. He's going in for another shot, looking to earn 3 more points. Nothing yet. Fine. Trying to get top position, but again, the ankle.
Phenomenal scrambling by Nick, just continuing to find a way out of that position. Foca got on a deep shot, and he's got an answer.
Stalemate in the middle of the mat. I'll tell you what, these last 3 matches, even though they haven't gone Columbia's way, we've seen some really good action. 165, 174, and now 184. Fine, he's definitely had his opportunities. He's had his moments in this match.
Yeah, Foca goes re-attack to a locked up a cradle, but Nick just rolls him through and elevates over.
$27-0, the team score as we get a stop for blood. Cornell entering the weekend ranked number 9, highest they've been all season. You take a look at the coaches poll to see, well, pretty common to see who's up there at the top. Penn State, Iowa, OSU, Ohio State. See NC State up at number 6. Cornell wrestled NC State earlier in this season. That's when Shapiro made his season debut back in December. See Cornell in there at number 9. And the way they've been dominating, a big win over Binghamton, and now looks like the team win salted away here for Cornell. They could move up. Final home dual meet for Columbia. Take a look at the rest of their dual schedule, the rest of their Ivy schedule. Harvard and Brown and Bucknell coming up. You see that Ivy League tournament down in Princeton, New Jersey at the beginning of March.
Yeah, Columbia's got 3 winnable duels there. To wrap up the season, I think it'd be great for them, for the momentum, if they can go perform well, wrestle their best at those next 3 duels, put 3 wins in the win column, and give them some gas, give them some momentum going in the Ivy League championship. So I think it's a good schedule for them to kind of feel their best and feel like they, they're wrestling well going into the conference. This dual meet, it means a lot today again, but the Ivy League championships are, let's see, less than a month away now, and that's really what really what matters. There is no dual meet championship in wrestling this year. They're talking about bringing it back for a national duels championship at some point. already, but right now duels don't really mean that much. They mean a lot individual bouts for the seeding at the conference and at the NCAA tournament, but it matters who shows up on conference tournament day and who shows up at the national tournament the most. Nick putting on pretty good onslaught of offense there, but not enough to get through.
Offense has picked up on the Columbia side last 3 matches, but
Excited to see how this match plays out. See if Joe can be effective on top and in his positions against Delgado. Delgado's kind of a funky wrestler, I'd say, for 197. He's not like he's not going to just come out, you know, crank out a single leg and take you down. He does some stuff upper body. He scoots corners. He's a leg rider. So he's a little funky, and see how these two match up.
both wrestlers with 10 wins on the season. Delgado 10-2. Curtis is 10-5. Delgado's won 6 straight, 5 decisions and 1 pin. 4-time New Jersey State medalist. Curtis, the sophomore out of San Diego. Pinned Nathan Taylor a couple of Fridays ago for his 7th pin of the year.
Delgado with that over tie. See if he's got something off at a snap. Slide by maybe.
Talking about the power of Joe Curtis in this 197 slot for Columbia.
Yeah, I think Delgado scores a lot of points actually on his feet off other guys' leg attacks. So he's a good scrambler. He's going to go hard here. And Joe's got to be sharp. He's got to get his head in the right position and find a way to finish clean. See, this is the type of stuff that Delgado likes to do. He's funky. He knows how to wrestle through positions. And this is where, you know, they're saying, danger. Now that's a takedown, and if he stays on his back at all, this should probably be potentially dangerous.
Curtis in a tough spot here. Delgado asking the officials to.
Smart wrestling there. I'd say you turn too hard into that. If you keep going, your knee's going to pop. So good job by, I guess, both wrestlers and officials to see we're potentially dangerous there. Injuries is not what any team is looking for at this point in the year.
No kidding.
Delgado also very good on top, so he's got a leg in. Let's see his offense here.
Pushing the head of Curtis. Head positioning so important. The technicality. Wrestling. Delgado really good on top here. Armbar. Trying to flip him over for some back points. Nothing yet. Here come the swipes. 2, 3, 4. Curtis able to sit out of it and escape. So 4 back points and an escape point for Joe Curtis. Impressive to get out of that.
Yeah, did a good job rolling through. It looked pretty tight.
4 near fall, 1 neutral.
4 near fall, 1 neutral. We'll wait for you.
7-1 after the escape. Delgado kind of surprised him with just running that half or armbar over. Came out getting the legs in hard, but he's got more than just legs, it looks like, on top.
The overhook. 3 seconds, 2 and 1. And an impressive first period from Michael Delgado. Show some respect to Joe Curtis there, who got out of a really tough spot.
Just running a wrist in a deep half there. You saw the first takedown. Joe got on a nice deep low single, but Delgado turned it into his points, and I think that's kind of Delgado's MO is, you know, go ahead and take my leg. I'm pretty flexible. I can scoot corners really well, and I can roll you through, come out on top. So, you know, what that tells Joe Curtis is, geez, I better be ready to finish clean. Otherwise, this is gonna turn into a scramble, and that's where Delgado wants to be.
Curtis.
Nice outside step, yeah.
In for a shot. Delgado. He's got good grip. Curtis has got the ankle, though. 3 points for Delgado, though. There's spin around. Curtis in a tough spot. That left arm.
Exactly what I was talking about there. You know, he goes in, gets on a deep, I'd say, you know, high crotch, outside step, high crotch. It's a nice shot, but that's where Delag, he's got flexible hips. He can kind of just scoot right around the corner, and this is tight.
First pin of the day for Michael Delegata and Cornell. So Curtis, who entered the week top 10 in the country in pins, gets pinned by number 23, Michael Delegata, here in the penultimate bout of the afternoon. Again, Delegata had his takedowns really tight, really locked, so flip him over. And that was a quick combination there from Delegata, had that arm locked up, turned him over for the pin. So now our final bout of the day comes at 285.
Whose choice is it?
Billy McChesney at 285 for the Lions today. Junior out of Greenburgh, Pennsylvania.
Wait for time.
We've seen Vinnie Mueller a ton this season. He's a sophomore out of Woodbury, Minnesota. He's out of the lineup this afternoon, giving McChesney a chance to wrestle. He's 7-5 on the season, is McChesney, three-time Pennsylvania State place winner. Hasn't wrestled since December 7th, though, and he's starting aggressive.
Yeah, in on a deep high crotch. Now he's kind of got to be in recovery mode. Ashton Davis, nice job. Scoot, kind of like hitting his hip, but getting off of it, recovering, and going to a go behind.
Ranked number 33 on Intermat is Ashton Davis. He gets the first 3 points of the match. He's 12-4 on his season, sophomore out of Tennessee. 3 individual state titles while wrestling at Cleveland High School, not Cleveland, Ohio, Cleveland, Tennessee. 2-time Fargo All-American as well.
A lot of weight there. Ashton Davis kind of riding parallel, but it's not a bad move. Just early off the takedown, trying to secure his ride time. He's got a wrist behind Billy's back and looking to tilt with it.
Davis trying to potentially earn some back points. Wait to push here for Davis. Riding time over a minute now. Chesney tries to build a base, but it's just getting broken down by Davis.
I think one of the themes, and even in the closer matches, you know, we look at 165, we look at 184. One of the things that they were very competitive matches. Columbia was in both of those matches, and here we are, you know, at heavyweight. I think that overall Cornell won a lot of these positions on top. You know, they secured ride time in most of these matches, and they used it to kind of control the match. So, you know, I think Caesar's competitive. I think Nick Fine is competitive, but they got to find ways to not spend any time down there on bottom, and that's where I think they can clean up and give themselves a better shot to win those bouts at conference.
Now at 2 minutes of riding time for Ashton Davis. McChesney has struggled since the takedown. Not able to build his base. Davis getting pretty far on the outside, but he's got his 1 foot in. Chesney gets up out of bounds. 36-0 the team score in favor of the number 9 ranked Cornell Big Red. Number 1 in the Ivy. They continue their dominance of the league.
Yeah, we got 21 seconds on the restart here. Billy's up to his feet. He can stay up, kind of keep chain wrestling.
Chesney got started quick. He went for an early attempt. Was able to get the leg of Davis for a moment, but he countered it for 3 points. It's pretty much just been riding ever since. 2 minutes and 39 seconds of riding time, and here's the lone takedown of the period.
Nice job.
Davis just scurrying, able to move his feet, get his hips around. Earn the 3 points. Chesney on top here to start the second.
Yeah, Billy looking for a mat return here. Ashton Davis just staying on his feet, doing a good job. Don't know if he really needed that whizzer kick. Probably should just try to stay up, cut away. Good job by him there for a second attempt.
4-0 Davis as he earns an escape point.
I think Billy wants to kind of keep hand fighting hard, but pick his attack, make sure that he doesn't get stuck on that finish again where Davis can capitalize off Billy's shot. So, yeah, Billy's got to keep him working, keep him kind of off balance, and look for the right shot, being ready to make the adjustment on his finish again this next time. Interesting to see here if Davis is kind of happy with a 4-0 lead or if he feels like he should go after, push for another takedown in this second period. I don't see a lot of attacks here from him, but might be setting something up.
Chesney. Davis, middle of the mat. Davis has an underhook. There's a lot of hand fighting here in the second period. Approach 30 seconds. Riding time and control for Davis. He's just about earned that point.
Couple good snaps by Billy. Kind of wrist and collar snap, but off that snap, you want to stay close enough to find the leg, get to your leg attack, and I think it's kind of like a snap and separation. Got to find a way to snap right into your attack if you're going to use those. A little better look there.
Second period coming to a close. A lot of hand fighting in the middle frame. McChesney back in the lineup at 285. Down 4-0 here as we go to our final frame of the afternoon. Chesney looking to go. Davis a nice counter into a single leg. Re-attack. No points awarded just yet. McChesney down to the mat. And there's 3 for Ashton Davis.
So when this ends, you're going to toss off. Say we'll come back for a quick post game. We can watch handshakes and hand raises and stuff. Feel it out.
Riding time looks like it's going to be well over 3 minutes in this one. And that's major decision territory as that riding time point is locked up for Davis, who leads 7-0. Riding time point would give him that extra point to make it 8-0.
Something Cornell's done a really good job of today is just counterattacking, really. Scoring off Columbia's leg attacks. Again, the shot rate here in this match is McChesney 2, Davis, I'd say 0 committed, penetration step attacks to his knee. But Davis has 2 takedowns, so it's really a thing of like being able to finish clean. I think we saw the same thing at 197. Joe Curtis got in on 1 or 2 deep leg attacks, and Delgado turned him into his points. So kind of a common theme there, and Cornell's kind of capitalizing on re-attacks.
165 and 174. Caesar Alvan able to score early. Jack McGill able to score early. Ultimately, those matches went the Cornell way. Urging to see Caesar Alvan back at 165. Came over here to us, talked about his mindset with you, Joe, and he came out firing in that first period.
Yeah, I think he knew he had a good opportunity against Ramirez, and he got off to a good start. That was a really exciting first period and a half, I'd say. And I think again, if he cleans up some of his mat wrestling, Ramirez kind of controlled him on the mat. He stayed on top. Caesar chose neutral in the third, I believe, which just kind of says like Ramirez has the upper hand on the mat. And I think if you want to win at a really high level, you got to be able to go down and get away against just about everyone in the country.
Ashton Davis is going to come away with a major decision victory to end the duel here at Levian Gymnasium, the final home duel for the Columbia Lions. They're unable to get a victory here today as the number 9 Big Red all over the Lions here this afternoon in New York City. Teams will shake hands. We'll be back, wrap things up.